Continuing the tour of Hammond Forever House inside. Here we are in the dining room. You can see the beautiful wood wainscoting that has never been painted. And that's fortunate and probably the result of the fact that this was rented out. The house was rented out and not sold. A lot of new owners seem to, in the 60s and 70s, seem to paint everything to update it, but renters do not. One of the renters that lived here drew this picture of the house, so we've got that, which is beautiful. So as you can see, we've got some wallpaper. Do you like this wallpaper? It was actually put on the walls by it's a Paramount Plus production called Honor Society. With you should check it out. It's a great film. This little door looks a little bit like a closet. But in fact, it is the door that goes upstairs to the rooms upstairs. So super cute. It's almost like a secret passageway. And I love the little detailing that they've done, the full wood detailing over the wall, over the door, but it's a very small door, so it just looks kind of crammed into the wall. So we call that room the living room, and this one the dining room. You'll see the table. We just recently updated it with some couches. Over there's the fireplace. I'll show you that in a little bit. But you can see that, as I said, these are the leaky rooms in the house. The walls are beautiful inside. They have this wainscoting, but it's 2x4 construction, and originally it was not insulated. So the foam that was blown into there, you had to be really careful because these walls are a little delicate. That's the front door. If you blow foam into that cavity, it's very easy for that foam to just blow out the wall, and that happened in a few places under cupboards and things. So what you get is gaps. We've done I think it was Monty Paulson did some infrared camera work, and we actually saw gaps where you can see where the foam is missing. So that's the front door. That is beautiful front door, but pretty leaky. That's something that we can do in the future. I mentioned that we're not quite done yet. The way that we're going to get to net zero from here point on is to just do the basics. We haven't even really worked hard to seal that door. The windows there are single pane. And then I'll go on to here. This is a nice window. This came from Honor Society. Thank you very much. They bought that and didn't need to give it back, so they gave it to us. This is something that I'm excited about. We'll see how it works. These are from competition blinds. They've got a little bit of an insulation property to them, but you can open them up, and then you can open them like that as well, which is nice. And this is one of the really lovely features of the house. They're original from 1923, stained glass window, but of course they're very thin. They're single pane, and they're also, each pane has got a little bit of a gap, possibly, right? So we took a little silicone and tried to find holes, but that's something that we can do to make this room less leaky, is maybe sandwich them between two panes and create a vacuum in there, so you actually double pane them. Before we came here, the Cohens did double pane these windows with custom wood double pane windows. That's not cheap, but so we're grateful that they did that. That makes a difference. What else can we show you? So yeah, all these exterior walls are they're quite thin. And the other thing that I haven't done, and there's another window, this is another detail in the house that people love, is that kind of window box thing, that kind of part of the house that leans out over the house, and it's a lovely detail. It's any house that is on makes it difficult to seal and insulate, because all the corners make it very easy for heat to get out. What else do I want to say about that? Oh, we had some fun insulating that. We did put some spray foam underneath it. Oh, I can't show you outside. Anyway, over here is the kitchen. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you take one of these vertical pieces off, you'll notice that those are panels. And so something I still want to do is put a bead of silicone and seal each of those. There's quite possibly some air gaps on the exterior walls along these walls. So, as I said, this is the leakiest part of the house. This is the door into the kitchen. And of course, these doors used to have actual doors. We don't have the door on them because the walls were not insulated, and in the past, they would close all the doors and heat the room that you're in. And right about where I'm standing here, there would have been a stove. I think, well, because the chimney's right behind this wall, so there could have been a stovepipe, and there may have been a stove right here for heating the room. And then, of course, the fireplace was very picturesque, but that would be a heating source as well. Right on the other side of this wall is the kitchen, and that's where the main wood-burning stove was. Did I answer your questions? I don't know. Send me some questions if I didn't answer them for you. Okay, continuing on, that's the dining room. That's a Craigslist table, by the way, just to be clear. And that was a free lamp from Honor Society. Reuse. There's the door into the kitchen. See, that's where I just was. Okay, and here we are into the sitting room or living room. We brought that back from China. We just put some couches in because, my goodness, we felt like we had a little bit of money. Those are new. That's a new couch. That's a lovely little piece in the corner from Honor Society. Thank you, Honor Society. That was free. There is the fireplace that I was telling you about from the outside. That's the reason why we wanted to preserve the chimney. We have inside it a wood-burning insert, which is a very efficient appliance. It was about $2,000 about 10 years ago. And it was responsible for heating the whole house when we stopped burning oil. We used to have an oil furnace in the house, and we decided to get rid of it, to stop burning oil. So we said, let's see if we can just heat with that. And you know what? It wasn't so bad. It's an uneven heat, of course, but it still does a good job. The wonderful thing about this wood-burning fireplace that Ron, the bricklayer I was telling you about, the amazing neighbor, is that it was never painted. This is fire brick, and that's actually fairly rare. Again, most of the times, a lot of people had these houses and they would paint their fireplaces in the 60s, 70s to update them. You can't get paint off the bricks. So we're very lucky to have that. And in fact, there was a little cracking that happened when the house was raised and lowered. And one of the gifts that my in-laws gave us was to hire Ron to rebuild this chimney, to this fireplace. Pretty amazing. Thank you, Ron. If you were here, I would probably tell you a little bit more about fireplaces and net zero houses. Fireplaces don't belong in climate-friendly homes. No, generally speaking. It's a better way to heat a house than to burn fossil fuels. We will say that. And if you've got a forest and you're stewarding that forest and you have available wood, but the fact is that having a fireplace in your home is a really big hole in your house, and it's letting all this heat up all the time. Most of the heat, even with a really efficient wood-burning insert like this one, most of the heat is going up your chimney. Let's face it, just be honest with yourself about that. It's got a little fan in it, it's beautiful, it really heats up the house, but the majority of that heat is actually going up. And then you've got the particulate pollution and the smoke, and you are releasing carbon into the atmosphere, but you're also polluting your neighborhood. Really sorry, this has been hard, and the solution that we would have here is to insulate that and put a electric appliance which would simulate fire. And it's kind of like nobody really wants to do that, so we are keeping it for the time being. We do have some construction wood still, and the Cohens have a forest, and they provide us with some wood from their forest, and that's not wood they're chopping down. They're not clear cutting, they're managing their forest. Trees fall down, what are you going to do with the tree? They cut it up, we burn it, it keeps our energy costs down. So there's a lot of positives, but ultimately a fireplace is not something that you want in your like passive house, net zero energy home. I'm sure you're mad at me about that, so please put comments in the, please comment away. Okay, just calling your attention to a cool feature of this house. Of course, we've got these old heat registers. You might have them in your house. Hello, kitty. Hello. These heat registers used to, of course, blow hot air. At first, there was actually a, you want to go in there, do you? There was a sawdust furnace in the basement, and they would just, so it was passively, the heat would come up. This is Tobeans, and Tobeans wants to go in there. Of course he does. Tobeans knows that he's got his own heat register. This one over here in the dining room. This one has got no grate on it because I have painstakingly carved out a little passage down there for the cats to go into the basement. So the cats can go down there if they cooperate. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. Let's see. Let's see. Go on. Go on. Oh, no. Go on. Go on. Go on down. Go on. Gee, so uncooperative. I want to show off how much you love that.